What's good, everybody? Ace of all trades here with the game Illuminaughty. We are back for another review. This time around, we are going to be reviewing Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee for the Nintendo Switch. Appreciate you guys for coming through, but before we go into our review, I gotta go ahead and introduce you guys some other members of GI. Steven, say what up.
What's good, what's good, what's good?
True. And also, I forgot to mention, Steven, you guys, is a shiny hunter along with this other gentleman I'm about to introduce. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Data Dave, you ain't the only shiny hunter out here, you know what I'm saying? Just had to throw that out there. Shout out to Data Dave though. Siggy,
better than you now.
Yeah, true. So you guys have put an ample amount of time into Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. I think we all have Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Gotcha. Now, just to let you guys know for this review,
Sounding robotic there.
yeah, no, we're good. Now, just to let you guys know that Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee are just pretty much the same games. There are some limitations on a few Pokemon that you can be able to catch within the game itself, but other than just those Pokemon that are missing from each side, that's it. Everything else gameplay wise is the same, so the review can go for both. So
There's a couple close options too.
right,
Other than that, that's about it.
exactly. So with that being said, you guys, now this isn't necessarily a new Pokemon game because it's based off the originals for the Game Boy when it first came out. So, you know, red, blue, yellow. So with that being said, no, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, so it was actually red, blue, and green, and then yellow.
Yeah, well, yellow is later, but it's still I believe it's still based off of that. Hence why, you know, because with the yellow version, Pikachu was featured on it, so that's why it still is based off of it. But I get exactly what you're saying. But with that being said, what did you guys think about how they decided to bring this over? So Game Freak decided to bring this over to the Switch. Siggy, I'll go with you first. Tell us your initial thoughts.
All right. Whenever I first heard about the game, I was like, ugh, because I didn't know. I knew that they said they were gonna make a Pokemon game, but it wasn't this one. You know what I mean? Like this one just kind of came out of nowhere.
This was a filler until the next
and
game.
it was. And whenever I saw the name Let's Go, right away I was like, oh, it's gonna be pretty much Pokemon Go. I didn't realize that it was, you know, based on the original, you know, game, etc. You know, red and blue. I was like, nah, no way. I didn't, you know, without knowing that it was gonna be red blue. I was like, nah, no way. And sure enough, though, when it came out, you know, I got it day one, and I was like, whoa. And it's nostalgia, you know. It's like, wow, it brings back memories. I played the hell out of it. I played red. My brother had blue, and we played that thing nonstop when we were kids. So it was very, very cool. Whenever, you know, the game hits you. I didn't like that because I had the Pokeball. I remember when I streamed that first day, the mechanics of throwing the thing, the motion, all that. I was kind of disappointed that I had to do all that, but you know, that was before I realized you could just pick up the Switch itself and you could actually use that. I was like, all right, this is
Right.
But I mean, you get used to it. But when I was first playing, man, it was like everywhere. I didn't necessarily know that I was supposed to look at the screen this way, or you know, put the wrist back and all this kind of stuff. You know, it does have the little instructions on what to do, but it seemed like every time Pokemon would move around, that thing could change and it would make you throw a curveball and stuff like that. So it was weird, the mechanics, but no, it was, when I first played it though, yeah, it was very solid.
Bet. Steven, what about you, man?
When I first saw the trailer and stuff, I was actually pretty excited. I didn't know why everybody was tripping because I saw it was gonna be co-op, but that co-op is just local. So I end up being a little upset by that. But other than that, it's fun. The changes they made, I pretty much enjoyed all of them. Like the 8 gems being specific to Pikachu. Or what is it called? Secret moves.
Yeah, like you get like the names you get as like the moves that you'll be able to use.
Or secret techniques. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy catching the Pokemon better than battling them when you're out in the wild, because I don't know. I just got used to throwing the Pokeball like Sig was saying, like the Switch controller, like it was buggy at first, but after a while you just get used to it, and it just got easier and easier. And plus, it's a whole lot easier to shiny hunt though.
Yeah.
The way it's styled after Pokemon Go.
Yeah. I definitely.
That's another thing too, real quick, to piggyback off what Steve said.
Go ahead.
I love that they have the Pokemon out to where you can actually see it.
Exactly. That made it so much easier. Going through the caves and everything like that. You know, after a while, you get tired of seeing motherfucking Zubat all the time, bro. I'm gonna just be real with you. This time around, if I want to avoid Zubat, I'll just avoid Zubat. Get out of my way. I don't need you. Now, I will say that so I said earlier in the beginning of the review that this game was based off the originals, which it still was, but I forgot to mention that it does adapt a lot of the Pokemon Go, that mobile app that came out a few summers ago, and those mechanics had put into the game. Now, I do think that it was cool the fact that you were able to transfer your Pokemon from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Let's Go. I thought that was dope. I was actually pretty excited for I know that another Pokemon game is coming out, but I knew what the game was. I knew what it was for. I knew it was meant for nostalgic reasons and everything along those lines, but also to kind of introduce a little new things with the Pokemon Go. Pretty much. The only thing I will say that I was truly disappointed in was the fact that, and Steven said this too, was the fact that the co-op was only local. I was actually really mad about that because I was like, man, that's gonna be so dope. You can be online with your homie, y'all can go through Viridian City or whatever like that, go through the forest and everything, and go pick up some Pokemon, do what you need to do. That would have been really, really cool. But then again,
boy, that was fucking so damn.
Yeah.
That shit was online.
I was like, online co-op Pokemon? Yo, that's lit. Let's do that. That would have been dope, and now especially for all of us since we all stream too. That would have been perfect. But local play, it was like, oh my god. But other than that, I mean, that's really the only negative thing that I would say about it. But you guys already mentioned like the secret techniques that you can get for Eevee and also for Pikachu. But I actually would want to I'm gonna ask you first, Steven, what did you think about the new implementations they had in the game with adapting from Pokemon Go? What did you like about it, about throwing the ball instead of necessarily catching, and instead of fighting the Pokemon, just catching them instead, and then also being able to see them out in the wild, and when you fly you actually can go around, you can have your Pokemon following you the entire time, like stuff like that. What did you think?
Oh well, I liked it. I loved it more than any other Pokemon game. Like you said earlier, you get to see the Pokemon instead of like them just popping up in tall grass. Like if you want to speed run this game, you can be done like that fast. Okay. You won't run into Pokemon like that. Then what else they changed? Oh yeah, another thing, and not just the HMs but the TMs. You don't just get one, it's an infinite amount of TMs. You get like the solar beams, the hyper beams, fire punches, all that stuff. I like they changed that. What else is there? The flying go around.
That's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Or like riding like your Pokemon. It just looks cool. Like, I mean, if you're a Pokemon fan and seeing that, it's just cool. Aesthetically, it looks just cool. It does nothing for the game, but aesthetically, it's cool.
Charizard is fine.
Yeah, it is.
Especially when you get your shinies and all that. Like, you get the flex on stream with your legendaries. Like you catch a bird, you get a goddamn Articuno following you and shit. This is great.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. Siggy, what about you, man? What do you think of it? Especially because, you know, you just like all of us, you started from the original, so going into now, what did you think about the new stuff?
Yeah, nah, it's great. I do miss the battling of Pokemon, and you know,
agreed.
I was thinking to myself whenever this game, I was like, wow, they really did a really good job, and I like these changes, etc. Especially taking all out. But it's kind of like, all right, well, what's the next generation type of thing that they can do? It can't be just this, We know that this was based on the original and this was a filler. I'm hoping though that, let's say it's different, whatever the next one is. I'm hoping it's not this specifically,
right,
in that regard. But if it is, at least I could deal with it. Like, I like the way the game was made, and And I thought maybe whenever I did beat it that I would get bored of it, but not. It's a game that I've already put like 300 and something hours into. I think 330 now.
Man,
and it's just because of the shiny hunting and stuff like that too. And that's one of the changes that they've done. They made it a lot easier to get shiny. They made it to where you had to do certain things to get certain ones. Like Steve got Mewtwo because of the soft resetting thing, and there's like a whole bunch of different things that people did to try to get these things. The only one that I can't get, for sure, just thinking about it, it's going to take a long time to get, the legendaries and stuff like that, because you got to do the soft resetting. You got to do the same thing for the prehistoric ones like Aerodactyl and Kabuto and all them. The one that's the hardest though is Mew, because so far Mew you can only get with this Pokeball that costs $100, right?
Yeah, it comes with the Pokeball.
And I have no idea though
how you would get it shiny.
Like 1,024 of these things to get a chance for a shiny, or if you can soft reset on that, I don't know.
Maybe
I'm trying to test it out.
They might add an event for everybody that doesn't have the Pokemon.
Maybe
like little mystery events and all.
It could be. I know that people could transfer to Go, and that seems to be like probably the easiest way.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say though, Siggy, you might. The thing is though, you have to be careful with that. So the one thing also too that I wanted to bring up, that the new things I actually hated, the fact is, so when you I noticed that, and I mentioned this earlier, that you can transfer over your Pokemon from Pokemon Go, the app, and but even transferring over, so say if you have a Pokemon that has a high CP, which is combat power, on your application itself, and then you transfer it over to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, right? Yeah, it brings it all the way down, y'all. Like it scales it so low compared to where it was in the app and everything along those lines. You lose so much leveling, it's ridiculous. Also, you have to transfer your Pokemon to catch them again. That is correct, folks. You have to re-catch your Pokemon that you're transferring over. You don't just already have them in your possession. You actually have to go to the zone. I forgot the name of the zone that you have to go to.
Safari Park.
The Safari Park. So it's not the Safari Zone like how you guys are used to. It's the Safari Park. And then when you go there, you actually have to recapture your Pokemon. So that means that if you don't have the Pokeballs and everything like that, to be able to capture your Pokemon, then you have to go buy more and everything along those lines. And I'm not gonna say that it's hard to catch them. It's not. It's just tedious because it takes you a very long time for some of these Pokemon. So you got to get the technique right and everything along those lines. When it comes to excellent throw, all of that. So I thought that was actually kind of lame. I'm not gonna lie. It makes no sense to have to recatch the Pokemon you already have caught. Like I think it's cool that it tells you like the location where you caught them. Like for instance, my shiny Moltres. Like when they had the event in Venice. When I was at Venice Beach, I was out there and I was just like, yo, word, let's go. I'm gonna pull up, and I saw some people out there. By the way, California and New York City is a cheat when it comes to Pokemon Go. It's ridiculous of how many Pokestops you have, gyms, all of that. If you're ever in those two cities, if you're ever in anywhere in LA or anywhere where Venice Beach is, or if you're in New York City, Times Square, all of that area, it's so unfair. Literally, there are Pokestops everywhere you go, everywhere. But I actually thought it was cool that it showed like the location. Like for instance, like one Pokemon I caught was in Queens. It said my location and all that, which I thought was cool. But me having to recatch it, that's for the birds. That would probably be my only other negative thing.
Yeah, but see, there's a reason why, because you can actually, because that was the one thing in Pokemon Go that everybody that did hate the game, you had so many of these Pokemon, so they were like, all right, well, what do we do to get people to not get mad about this? All right, well, you could give it to the professor to get more of either the candies,
so you can be able to evolve them.
Stuff, right? Yeah, but now with this game, now I kind of wish that I kept like the million PGs and stuff like that, because you can transfer up to, I think it's like almost 100, of your Pokemon, whatever it is at a time, or 50 each zone or something like that, and there's like 10 zones, so you can actually combo catch for shiny hunting the Pokemon that you got in Pokemon Go. So if there was something rare that that you wanted to have, and you transferred over to the Safari Park, you can actually catch combo these Pokemon, walk out of there after you catch them all, and then you'll have a combo going for a shiny, whether it's that one same one you wanted, or whether it's, you know, you're going for something else, instead of having to try to catch something in the wild, you know, that's not there all the time. So if you happen to have caught, you know, 31 Kazakons in Pokemon Go, and you wanted to put it in the game, which obviously you probably would be able unless you're in Australia, because I think that's what that Pokemon was, but still, you can actually do that and actually have a combo chain. And I've seen people, you know, with videos actually have that. They they combo chain like the Articuno and stuff like that. Of course, it backfired. It just brought a whole bunch of shiny Pidgeys and stuff like that, and not the legendaries like he thought it would. But it did make the combo catch, you know, translate into the game.
True. Gotcha.
And I think that's the reason why they did it.
Gotcha. What are your thoughts, Steven?
Yeah, that's kind of whack, like catching a Pokemon all over again. But I mean, you can't really have another Safari Zone when the whole game is pretty much played like the Safari Zone in the old games. So I understand why they did.
Gotcha. So, I mean, there's really not much to go over when it comes to the story and everything like that. You played it once, you played it twice. It's the same thing over and over again. You go through all the different cities. Your mom's like, no, don't go, you're so young. But then you end up going meeting Professor Oak, and from Professor Oak you go through to get all the badges, and after you go through the badges, you go through to actually become the league champion, and then from the league champion you go around and you catch a whole bunch of legendary Pokemon. Now, the one thing I would like to talk about before we go ahead and give our scores, Siggy and Steven have been doing this tremendously. You guys have noticed them talking about it so far, and also if you follow them on Twitch, they stream it all the time. Shiny hunting. Now, I feel like it's a very niche group because a lot of people like to do it, and a lot of people just like to watch people do it, and, you know, fake reactions and all that to shiny Pokemon. No one that we actually cool with do that. There's a lot of fakers out there. Data Dave is definitely not one of them. He's actually genuinely excited when he gets them. But some people be out here needs globe awards and everything like that because of how the acting they be doing. Boy. But Siggy mentioned that the shiny hunting is easier around for people that maybe are novice about it and everything along those lines. But I wanted to give the floor to you guys, Steven and Siggy. One of you guys can go first. What do you guys think about shiny hunting and Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee? Do you think that this is something that they should continue to incorporate moving forward with any further Pokemon games? Steven, go with you first.
Well, shiny hunting overall is so much easier than any other game. Like, it's stupid easier. Like, this, my first shiny caught like ever is in this game. So like, that's, like that should say something, bro.
And now you already got like 10, right?
Yeah, I got like 10 to 12, 15, something like that. And like, should they add it in other games? Yeah, but like, if they go back from this, like, there's really no reason to, because everybody loves this shiny hunting. Like, it's so much easier and all that. It pretty much tells you, or you can like visibly see the difference. Like, once you catch 6, like, okay, like oh, I'm comboing a Pidgey. I caught 6 of them, like 100 pieces or so on up. 11, oh, even more of these hoes. 31, oh my god, I can't stop. There's a Pidgey at every corner. Like,
yeah, as soon as it hits 11, then they all spawn all the time for you.
Yeah, it's like, it's great, bro, and it's mad addicting. I don't know why. It's like, after waiting so long and you finally get the shiny, it's like, damn, I caught this whole, I really did this shit. But now for some reason I want to do it again. I don't know what it is, but it's I fuck with the shiny hunting. I fuck with it.
So are you a shiny hunting streamer now, Steven? Is that what you're saying?
I ain't no shiny hunting streamer, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the come up, bro. Day to day, watch your fucking back.
What'd you think, Siggy?
I got 50 of them so far. I'm trying to go for all of them.
You trying to fill out the Pokedex? Okay.
I'm trying to fill out the Pokedex. Now, of course, you know, I say 50, but it's probably really like 60 some if you count all revolutions on some of them.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because they start off shiny as, you know, this, and then they go, you know, 2 or 3 and stuff like that. So, but I'm not gonna be one that has to catch a Charmander and then stop there and then get another one that's, or a Charizard and then go back and try to get the middle one and stuff like that. But I am trying to just get it all. Whenever you do fill the Pokedex, it does let you know that you caught a Pokemon. Let's just say, to keep it short, Bulbasaur. It will show on the Pokedex that you have a Bulbasaur, male, female, and then the shiny. If you get a shiny, it'll show it on the Pokedex. So I'm just trying to fill the Pokedex up with all of them. Of course, there's going to be the hard ones that I'm going to have to buy the other game for. Eevee, I'm going to have to get not only for the Pokemon that aren't there to shiny hunt, but also for the legendaries, since I messed up and went through the game quickly without realizing that I had to do the soft resets to get these other Pokemon, like the legendaries and the Mewtwo and stuff like that. So I'm going to do that. But going back to like the whole point of the shiny thing, it's a lot easier. I never would have thought that I would be doing it. It wasn't until Nomad actually put the video of this person failing. Like they went I think it was like 6 days or
it's with the Ponyta, right?
Yeah, that one. And there were so many hours that this guy wasted, and then he got all excited and he wanted disappearing on him. And I was laughing about it. I was like, huh. But I was thinking at the same time, I was like, oh, let me see if I could do something like this. And sure enough, I got a shiny, and it was fairly quick. And I was like, all right, let me do this more. And by the time, just like Steve said, it gets addicting. I don't know what it is about it. And then, at first I was doing, when I looked up on YouTube and some of the, like even Dave had a video of, the 31 combo and these odds and stuff like that. But then I realized that you can actually pretty much get 2-for-1 shinies if you go for the combo and get the extra shiny of what you're comboing first. So that way you can keep getting, and then by the time after you get the 31, you get the 32, whether it's that same one shiny, then turn around and just walk all the other zones or the routes, and something shiny will pop up, and then you start targeting like that. And then then after you get that second Pokemon, then go back and combo whatever you want next, and rinse, repeat, wash, whatever. So it's a lot of fun. It is. I never lost a Pokemon, a shiny one, until recently, but I did get them eventually, which was Snorlax was one of them. That one was hard to get, so I decided just to go ahead and use the Master Ball. I was like, man, I got 4 Master Balls, so I might as well waste one since I'm not gonna be able to get a legendary on this game anyways.
Oh man. Nah.
Another one that ran away from me was the Zubat, which is a cheesy one, but it was the one in the cave. It was the one in the cave that was like a level 57, and I never even. I think I caught one Zubat, in the beginning of the game, and there was like a level 5, and I didn't care about that stupid Pokemon, but it popped up, and I was like, all right, let me just get this because I'm tired of this crap. And man, I didn't realize that when it's that high of a level, that thing is moving around everywhere.
Hell yeah, that shit is hard, bro.
And then by the time I did get it, it was like an instant just flew out, and then it just ran away from me. I was like, what the hell just happened? But then when I thought I was like, all right, well, I just wasted my combo chain. So I went to go somewhere else, and it was the very first Pokemon that popped up, the actual Golbat, the shiny Golbat popped up. It was almost like the game felt bad for me that I missed it. So I was like, all right. So I got that one easily because I was on like a level 20 something, but still, I was like, all right, well, I was going to get this eventually anyway. But yeah, no, the shiny hunting is awesome, and Steve said, it is a lot easier. If you get to 31, the odds go from 1 in 1,024 down to 300 and something. If you get the shiny charm, which is whenever you get all of your Pokedex filled, 151.
That is correct. Yep.
Or 152 if
152.
You get the 153 if you upgrade him to. But if you get 151 though, you don't need Belton for this one. If you get 151, you get the shiny charm, and it reduces it to 1 in like 280 something. And then if you use a lure, it makes it down to like 254 or something like that, 1 or 254. So if you see all your favorite streamers doing that, that's the reason why because it makes the odds a little bit easier. But yes, the game itself a lot easier to get shinies. So I remember trying to get shinies in games like Pokemon Uranium or Pokemon Sun and Moon, etc. And yeah, that's still 1 in 1 million chance, it seems. Even with they did have something in one of the games which was like the shiny charm. Actually, it probably was shiny charm now that I think about it, because that's really
the Sun and Moon. It was just shiny.
It was just shiny charm, I believe.
But it was still crappy odds on that one too.
Right. Now, with that being said and everything that we've discussed, let's go ahead and move forward with the actual number scores out of 10 for the review. Siggy, I will go with you first. Out of 10, what would you give Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee?
I'm giving it a 9, a solid 9. The reason why I don't give it a perfect 10 is because there is things that I don't like about the game in regards to the mechanics, like the throwing ball and stuff like that, and how I do not like any time that there's a green circle when you throw the Pokemon and you're using something like an Ultra Ball, that they can still pop out of it. I always hated that in Go, and I hate it in this game too, because it almost is like, why are you doing that? Like, if it was a regular Pokeball, I can understand, but not an Ultra. What's the point of it being an Ultra if they can still pop out of it on a green circle?
Yep. Okay. So you got a 9. What about you, Steven?
I'll give it a 9 as well, man. There's nothing too much that's really wrong with it.
Gotcha.
Besides, like, I mean, if you want to be nitpicky, you don't really like catching all the Pokemon. Maybe you want to battle them and kill them in the wild, like a wild animal or some shit. But like, other than that, it's like nothing wrong with the game. But it's a remaster of Pokemon Red, and it's right pretty much.
Okay.
So like, I'll give it a 9.
Gotcha. And I'm actually going to give it a 8.5. Now, the reason why I'm going to give it an 8.5, Steven kind of mentioned it earlier. I do like the implementation of how they got it from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Let's Go, but I'm not going to lie. I still like going through and battling the Pokemon, getting my experience, even though if I get experience off rip by just catching them. I still like that battle aspect. I thought that was really dope. And the fact that it didn't have it, I'm very upset about. I also am making it at 8.5 because I was salty about the fact that it was co-op was only local, not actually online. And then third, the reason why I would give it an 8.5 is the fact that I have to re-catch the Pokemon I'm transferring over. I thought that was dumb. Oh, and I forgot to mention, when you're quote-unquote trading Pokemon, they don't have it to where you can just trade it with somebody directly. You have to put in some type of code, and if somebody puts in that same code wherever they are in the world, you can connect to that person. And it's simplistic as hell. It's only 3 as a 3 combination code. So if somebody puts that in and you're trying to connect to somebody else, you can connect to that random person and not the first person you're trying to connect to. Yeah, and with that
that's only going to be happening if you're like stream sniping though, because it's got to be at the exact same exact.
Yeah, that's still BS.
It does show their name. That's what happened. Though. You just gotta pay attention.
Well, yeah, it shows the name and everything like that, but it's still the fact that you have to go through that is still ridiculous. But that's why I'm giving it an 8.5, and let me go ahead and average the score out. And the official GI review score for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee is an 8.8. So that is the official review score. So positive review. Actually, this will be the 3rd review of the week for the GI squad. So shout out to everybody coming through for watching our videos. Thank you guys so much.
Quick, before you end it real quick, Steve, do you think they should do what they do with Pokemon Go and start just adding the other Pokemons like Silver and Ruby and all that stuff on top of it for a future?
Oh no.
Just let it
you
go.
Have to go. You have to go to other regions. Bro. You can't just
let it die. No, but they can expand it. I mean, it's not like they're limited.
You don't get charged for that though. That's a whole nother region.
I mean, I would think Nintendo needs to adapt.
That's a whole nother like. That's a whole nother like story, bro. You can just go get all 8 badges.
It wasn't difficult for Pokemon Go.
Yeah, but like Pokemon Go is different, man. That's like the real world.
Well, because because their map is bigger. But I'm just saying though, it's not like it should be hard to implement with this system. I mean, maybe if they were limited on the Game Boy, I can understand, but not this.
Yeah, that's not gonna be hard, is what I'm saying. It's like you're pretty much adding a second Pokemon, so they're gonna. It's pretty much like it'll be DLC.
So then, do you think they'll just go ahead and make another game? So they'll make Pokemon Let's Go. It would be Silver and Gold or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I don't think they would do that.
Gotcha.
What was it? It was Heart of Gold and Soul Silver. You could play in Johto and Kanto.
Yeah.
But that was like it was all available right out the game. It wasn't no DLC. It was just like the whole game. So that's why I don't know. I don't know if they'll.
No. I just don't know if they'll let the game die because of how popular it got.
Well, they don't let it die, motherfucking Pokemon, whatever the hell. coming soon.
Yeah, I know
probably
it'll
December
die
next year.
eventually, but yeah, but I'm just saying though that but the game became so popular, I just don't know why they would just let it fall apart so, knowing how popular it got. Because I mean, Pokemon Go is so popular in the mobile, and they, that thing is still alive because they keep pumping stuff into it.
Yeah. I
was just thinking about it because I just think it'd be weird. But then again, they got the new Pokemon going, and maybe this is just like, hey, look, this is just to keep y'all off our backs. Here you go. You are working on a Pokemon, and leave us alone. Here you go.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. What I was saying was, thank you guys so much for supporting us as a whole for GI. If you guys want to continue to support us at the game Illuminaughty, be sure to check out our Patreon. That is patreon.com/GI updates. We have a whole bunch of awesome tiers. You guys can pull up and be part of the videos. You guys can be in the Discord with us when we compete in a whole bunch of different games and whatnot. So if you want to support your boys over here, be sure to check out our Patreon. Thank you guys so much for coming through for yet another GI review. This has been Ace of All Trades, Siggy Guns, and Steven, and we are out. Peace.